Good evening, tubies. Hope you are all doing well. I've got a lot going on here, but don't worry about that. What we're here today to talk about is my recipe for black salt. I hope you can see this. There's not a lot left in here. It's a very simple, it's very short, it's very sweet, easy to do recipe. And all you're gonna need is stuff that you can find either in your grocery store or anywhere in your town where they might sell shisha, like wherever you can get charcoals, you're gonna need a couple of those. Wherever you can get rosemary, you can buy it at the grocery store and dry it out. Obviously you can buy salt at the grocery store. If you can't get your hands on some sulfur, then you could use match head sticks, like the match heads from the matchsticks. I personally would try and find yourself some sulfur. My understanding is that you can buy sulfur in plant stores. I don't really know why they would be selling sulfur or what sulfur is used for when it comes to plants, but apparently you can buy it there. You're also going to need some white sage ash. Obviously you can buy sage at the grocery store as well, dry it out, burn it up, and we can use the ash for this. There's a ton of recipes of black salt. I even have an older video on my channel of black salt. This is not hard to make. For this particular purpose, I'm just going to crush up 2 of the charcoals. This shit will stain your hands, make them black, so on and so forth. This is not a hard recipe. You don't need to put any intentions in. I mean, you can bless it if you want, you can read a spell over it, you can read a psalm over it, but it's mostly used, for those of you who don't know what black salt is used for, black salt is used to, you line it by your doorways, your windowsills, it protects you from evil, protects you from harm, protects you from spirits. You can also take a little bit of the black salt and throw it on a lit coal. I mean, there is coals in here. Although, if you're doing that, do not put sulfur in. This is not an incense per se, in fact, at all. For those of you who don't know what black salt is, I highly recommend you look it up. Every book has its own recipes. Every book has its own way of doing it. Every book has its own way of using it. So you're going to have to go based on your own discretion. So once you've crushed up these charcoals, you're going to put in some salt. It's mostly, black salt is mostly charcoal and just salt on its own, but I like to put in some other things. So as you all know, or might not know, some folk traditions, lots of TV shows play off of this. Putting salt down, spirits can't pass over it, so on and so forth. Brick dust is used to keep evil out as well. You could put some red brick dust in here, but then again it wouldn't be black salt at that point. I'm mostly putting a lot of salt in here because the whole name is black salt. So I'm going to put in some white sage ash. You can put as much or as little as you want in. I am making a bigger batch because I do go through this stuff like there's no tomorrow. Just stirring that around. The other thing that I like to put in, aside from the sulfur, another little trick for you to know is, let's say for some unforeseen reason you've burned sulfur in your house. I'm just going to lift this up so I don't knock the camera off because it's not on very well. If you've, for some reason, burned sulfur in your house, or you've burned it too close to a doorway and it's got into your house, you can take a black charcoal, light it on fire, and drip droplets of water on it. And what that will do is that will dissipate the smell. Even just burning regular charcoal in your house and putting a little bit of water on it, like we're talking barbecue charcoal, that'll work as well. That will get rid of the smell. Okay, so we're just going to mix that around, and the final ingredient to go in is rosemary leaves. Now, my recipe also stipulates that you can burn the rosemary leaves and use the ash, but I like to use the rosemary leaves whole, and I just put in a big spoon. Rosemary is really great in protection and just kind of warding off evil. The charcoals in here help to ward off the evil. Burning just regular charcoal in your witchy space with no herbs on it or anything will also help to cleanse the space. Placing salt down in the four corners or on windowsills and doorways will also help to rid the space of evil. I like to use black salt around my doorways and windows. Just gonna fill up this jar. Like, this is a super simple, no fuss, no muss recipe. Again, you can buy everything at your local grocery store. You could probably even find the matches at your local grocery store if you wanted to put sulfur in. Again, just don't put this on a coal. And that's really all there is to it. It's simple, it's easy to make, it's easy to use. There's no putting intentions in, there's really nothing. Like this, if you're a new witch, this is the easiest thing to make and this is the easiest thing to use, and it should be in everybody's arsenal and everybody's witchy cabinet. You might not use it a lot, but again, I put it down at my doorways and anywhere like my balcony entranceway, places like that. I mean, I do vacuum it up every time I vacuum, but I just put down new stuff anyways. So yeah, that's black salt for you.